Alrighty, here we go. A religion can connect you to something bigger than yourself. It gives you some version of morality, it focuses on truth claims, and it can affect your worldview. Believe it or not, there's actually a lot of religions. I know, it's crazy. Despite the countless options, however, many are opting to follow no religion at all. While personally I find it sad that many are deciding not to be religious, the main reason being that it's just too much effort, that isn't the point. I'm here to ask and answer one question. Is it religious to not be religious? Let's talk about that. Okay. I know what you're thinking. How could that be possible? But hear me out. According to National Geographic, the religiously unaffiliated, we're calling them nuns, are growing significantly. They're the second largest religious group in North America and most of Europe. In the United States, nuns make up almost a quarter of the population. In the past decade, U.S. nuns have taken over Catholics, mainline Protestants, and all followers of non-Christian faiths. There are many reasons someone could become a nun. It could be financial security. This explains why Europeans with a better social safety net are typically more secular than the U.S., where poverty is more common. It could be educational. Most atheists have college degrees or general knowledge on world religions. It could also be official state religions, because official state religions tend to drive people away, which could explain why the U.S. and other Western nations tend to be more religious than Eastern nations with official state religions. In any case, these people exist, so let's talk about them. Before we begin, I'd like to make it very clear that I don't think that being a nun or an atheist, or whatever you'd like to call it, is a religion. But I think it's an interesting topic, so that's why I'm going to talk about it. The framework for religion that I'm going to use are as follows. It connects people to something bigger than themselves. It considers itself distinct or separate from others. It has rituals. It has a code of moral conduct. It inspires strong emotions. It provides a complete worldview that makes exclusive truth claims. It provides a community based on that worldview. Our first question, does being a nun connect you to something bigger than yourself? The question of what happens when you die is the biggest question there is. I would say that simply being human can connect you to this group. However, the question is if being a nun connects you, and unfortunately being a nun alone cannot connect you to this bigger question, as they're simply too large and too diverse of a group. Do nuns consider themselves distinct or separate from other religions? Now, personally, I can't answer this one because I'm Catholic, but I did interview Jacob Griffith, an atheist friend, well, I don't want to say friend, an atheist human being that I know. Jake's response was, quote, I guess some do to a certain extent think that they are superior to others because they don't believe there is a God. Though personally, I see myself as being in a default mindset, end quote. While this is interesting, we also have to consider other types of nuns. An anti-religious person can have many different views. One school of thought could be, maybe there's a God, but I'm not really into it. Another could be, I have definitive proof that no God has ever or will ever exist. And unfortunately, it's just too broad of a group to be able to consider them distinct. Other than the fact that nuns don't believe in a God, there isn't really much keeping them together. Do nuns have rituals? Short answer, no. There might be the occasional anti-religion rally, but that's not really a ritual. Rituals nuns do perform are not religious and would be something that anyone can participate, regardless of whose religion it is. This can include holiday celebrations, birthday surprises, or something your friend group does. Do nuns have a code of moral conduct? And an argument could be made that everyone has a code of moral conduct. This could simply be human nature. Seeing as human nature is a very complex subject that I could be here all day talking about and probably getting confused because I'm definitely not qualified to talk about it, I'll give a quick summary. Human nature is the culmination of what we know at birth as well as what is taught to us by others. Human nature cannot be inherently good or bad because there are simply too many factors that play into what human nature is. Generally, however, the majority of people have an outline of what is right and what is wrong. Unfortunately, though, there is not a distinct characteristic of nuns, so that's 0-4 for nuns not being a religion. Does being a nun inspire strong emotions?
Nous avons fait cette manif dans des bonnes conditions.
Yes. And also no. We need to look back to our second point. Unfortunately, being a nun is too broad of a group. So, while some nuns are very passionate about what they believe, others are, in a word, lukewarm. I'll give nuns a half a point for this one. Does being a nun provide a complex worldview that makes exclusive truth claims? Well, some do, but most nuns just aren't sure, or some are confused, so no, this one's too specific of a question to answer. Do nuns provide a community around their worldview? There are different types of communities. Whether it be forums or groups that get together and hang out, being a nun can be like any other subculture. It's a full point for nuns. In conclusion, no. Nuns are not a religion. They are, however, a subculture, we've come to find. The subculture of being a nun is so broad, in fact, that it itself has subcultures. This was my in-depth look at defining if not being religious was religious. Thank you.